Good afternoon. It's time for yet another NFL Bucky's Mail Day. This is your host, Mike C., and of course, star of the show, as always and forever, it's Bucky. Say hi, Bucky. Bucky says hi. A little late start today, but we had some other things we had to do, including getting some meds at CVS, so I got a late start, but we're here, and we're going to get finished, and we're going to get started. We're going to get started before we get finished, and so we got a few notes and a few ketchups, no mustard, and that was a bad joke, Bucky. Bucky liked that joke. He thought it was funny. It's making me laugh. Or barbecue sauce. Okay. So let's get the notes out of the way first. Where do we start, Bucky? I got notes I can't even read. Okay, let's start with the Reds. They're 34 and 37, so 3 games under 500. They're 8 games out. Not sure who's in first. I want to say the Cardinals, but I didn't check that because I didn't check the standings necessarily. It doesn't matter. There's still 8 games out. It's a lot to make up, and they're just kind of treading water and just kind of going along with the flow, and that's not good. Let's see, what else we got? The Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals. Both teams were behind 3-0. They both won the next game. So the Stanley Cup, I believe, continues tomorrow night. I won't swear to that, but Dallas actually won, so they're behind 3-1. And I'm sorry, the Oilers actually won. They're up 3-1, and the NBA Finals, Boston is playing Dallas, and Dallas actually won the game, but I think Boston's going to take it the next game, and so both of those should be over fairly soon, and by next week for sure we'll have winners. They're not going to go to 7. I really doubt that. What else we got, Bucky? Last week's video had 13 views, which is a little lower than normal, but that's okay. And it's a down time of the year, so it's not to be expected that they're going to be down. It's just the way it is. We didn't get a NFL magazine this weekend. Didn't quite get to Barnes & Noble, but maybe this weekend we'll have our football magazine as the prop. What else we got, Bucky? First we'll take care of the obvious. In front of Bucky, what do you have in front of you? Bucky's got 3 cards in front of him. Whoops, we didn't get tilt on us. There we go. There. I'm going to hold it up here like this so make sure he gets the shot. We're actually a little too close because Bucky's not 100% on the shot, but he's in there. We went with obscure cards. Probably have seen all these at one time or another, but it's been quite a while for some. So this is obscure number 1. We got more we'll do. On Bucky's right, we got a Matthew Stafford autograph. A very nice card, actually. And I can't tell what kind that is, but it doesn't really matter. But it's a clear autograph and a little bit of a jersey, so that's a very cool card. It's a Matthew Stafford autograph, and I love Matthew Stafford and his autograph. So that's very cool. In the middle, non-Lions player, but a great football player, former Dallas Cowboys defensive lineman, Bob Lilly. And I got that from a pack that I got when I went to Cleveland a few years back. And that was one of the big cards. And that was a great card because he was a great player. And the other side, on Bucky's left, is a Kerryon Johnson card, but a very nice one. Kind of a red back with got 4-color patch and with an autograph. And that's a very cool card, actually. So those are the obscures for the while. Whoops, there we go. There, we'll hold that. See, Bucky's not in the way. Bucky's, there he is. All right, we'll try to keep it at that. So those are the obscure cards for this time, and we'll have more obscure. We'll have obscure Roman numerals coming up. As far as Lions news, there's a little bit of news. The biggest news is that the Lions signed a 2-year deal with former UFL kicker Jake Bates, who kicked a record 64-yard field goal in UFL. The UFL finished the other day their championship. I watched some of it. It was like 24 or 25 to nothing, so it wasn't that great of a game. But I think Birmingham won, I believe. I don't know their name. But they beat San Antonio, and San Antonio, they did okay, but they didn't show up that much. So the UFL is over. So there might be more players signing, and now everything is over. So don't be surprised if your team or other teams sign some former UFL players. And I guess they're coming back next year, as far as I can tell. Three other things I wanted to mention. PFF has their rankings out last week, and the overall roster, and it's caused a little angst amongst the Lions fans. They have the Lions roster ranked number 6 overall. I had it as a little bit low. Lions don't have a lot of holes on their roster. They got a lot of good backups even, and so it's probably some people have high as 1. I'm not sure about that, but I'd say top 3 or 4. And 6 is too low. So somewhere in that range, the Lions, they have very good starters. They have very good offensive line. People say secondary just because it's unproven. They've improved it, at least player-wise from last year, but it's an unknown factor, so that's why one of the reasons it's lower. And I think the kicker position too doesn't help. Now they got 3 kickers on their roster. They won't keep 3. They'll keep 2. One will probably be on reserve. And nobody keeps 2 kickers. It just doesn't have it. So they'll have, now which 2? That's the question. That's what the training camp is for. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And we'll report all this, later on. What else do I have, Bucky? A couple past Lions players. They're in trouble. The biggest one was Isaiah Buggs, the defensive tackle. He was arrested again the second time. I can't remember exactly. I don't want to, allegedly I'm not going to get in trouble. Maybe allegedly assault and breaking and entering. But I know he was arrested the second time. And he's on the Chiefs now, so who knows. But the Lions may have dodged a bullet there. He's a good player. He's a good backup player, good defensive tackle. But the Lions really try and stay away from players like that. And they got rid of him maybe just in time. The other notes I want to make is there's been rumors that the Lions might trade for Arizona Cardinal Budda Baker, safety. Very good player. The Lions already have traded a couple draft picks for next year and one for the following year. So they're probably not going to trade for many players if they ever do. The Lions really like to draft, choices or picks. So they won't. There's going to be a lot of cuts coming up. So I would just hang on to those and just wait and see what they're. Because there's a few spots, another wide receiver would not be bad. We've talked about this before, guys. Wide receiver, maybe another safety, another edge or defensive end player. And there's going to be, a lot available because cuts will happen. And they will sign 1 or 2, maybe more. They have, like I said, they have a very good deep roster. But there's still going to be improvements. The training camp obviously coming up. Quarterback 2 competition between him and Hooker. He could probably get the second position. But the competition is always good. Like I say, for the kicker, linebackers, another position that's been talked about. Safety, any of the secondary or cornerback or safety has been mentioned quite often. So, and wide receiver after the first three I think is wide open. But like I said, the Lions have very good depth. They have good depth in running back. Wide receivers okay. Their secondary is has some openings, I believe, but for the most part, they're solid. And I think you haven't been able to say that about Lions teams in the past, especially recently. But they've done very good, and they've really shored up the defense, just the team in general. So Lions are looking good, and they'll get better. And pretty soon there'll be training camp, and preseason is just right around the corner, and very exciting times. As far as locally is concerned, the weather's been kind of hot. I don't do as well as I used to love hot weather. I just can't handle it like I used to. I went to a art fair over the weekend, and I was pretty well done. Not maybe an hour into it, because it was 90 plus 95 somewhere there. It was hot, and even took water. But yeah, if water's not ice cold, especially in Nebraska's water is terrible, and so if it's not ice cold, it's ugh. But yeah, but the art fair was fun. But they only had 2 food booths. They had actually one. They had a Greek place, which I usually would get, but I passed, and then an iced coffee place. That was it. So they're very short on that, and they should have had more, I believe. That's just my opinion. But we didn't buy anything. Nothing really grabbed me, so we didn't spend money on that. But it was good. It was a good time, very fun. Carl and I had a very enjoyable time together, as we usually do. We're still planning on going up north for the 4th, and so we'll do one, before that, obviously, and the following week I'll let you know how much fun we had, or hopefully had. I think that's about it, Bucky. Yep, we got that. Okay. I got some work to do down here. Got to retape and structure some of my pictures, and so I don't get in trouble. But I think that's it, Bucky. Yeah. All right. So say bye, Bucky. Bucky says bye, and we'll catch you next week. Stay cool. Stay safe, and keep watching and be kind. All right. Bye now.